Hi, people. I would like to say my name is Emilian Butoi, and I have the gift of prophecy through the Holy Spirit. I'm a Roman Catholic with Benedict XVI and not George Borgoglio, who has been cast aside the real Pope Benedict XVI. Now, um, in my channel on YouTube, I've described since last year some revelations to come, some past prophecies, and today I'm coming to you to say that soon, very soon, a comet will hit, which her name is we April 26, and apparently this comet's gonna pass on April 29, Friday, 2020. I'm not sure if it's the exact day of collision, but with all the dreams and in the last 2 3 weeks, as God has shown me this comet and constellation, everything in the space. Including the stars, is something new for me. I was trying to stay even away from it, as the Bible say to not seek it. Well, I would like to share with you my dreams and signs so you can figure out for yourself. And let me get my notes, please. Okay, so earlier a bit I've published, and I publish sometimes daily, a dream that I mean, coronavirus. I was walking outside and came to a basement, Tom Hanks, and I give him a piece of bread. Suddenly, it was on my right hand. He took it, and then I embraced it. This is like Jesus giving a piece of bread. I embraced it, and I did like this. I took his temperature. He was sweating, and I said, "I have to do it again." And he said, "Huh?" I did not understand until the last minute. In 1998, just like that, a comet is called Comet 19 Asteroid. Sorry, not comet, an asteroid before it breaks, and it's called a comet. It's an asteroid. This asteroid, 1998, OR2, and it's gonna come. And so after this, the other part of the dream, I will skip it. Okay, I was given other bread from other people, and it was in a kind of warehouse, just like my channel, just like Hollywood now. Even one fell in the sewer, and this was rats. There were all kinds of beasts, and they were not attacking each other, just like on the channel. So this one I published it. I believe it was like 2 3 days ago. I initially took it the sweat as the gas mask, and I knew it was first. I thought about war. Second, when I start to be understand that all the message from God that gave me, though it was true on short-term prophecy, sometimes even 2 3 days, sometimes a month or whatever time it was period. Usually, it was also on the culmination point of this comet, because just like if what you're doing step by step to arrive at that point, it's the same. No, it's the same content. And today I had a dream that I was running outside, and came in front of me another runner and mentioned, and I published it. Though you see this comet on the same day as another comet, but it doesn't collide. So I was running outside and I passed one, and suddenly I was not forcing myself to run, and I didn't understand that I was gaining miles, gaining fast. And I'm like, why? Because I'm not even putting my legs fast one in front of another. Suddenly I'm in the middle of the road instead of like the side. And I heard people and they had attention. That's the point. Maybe they were talking about the entry point or something. But I felt that they knew me and they were expecting me to go fast. And then at the corner when everybody stopped like a light, but there was no light, I don't know. I continue, and this I didn't know, but later that is like Princess Diana and her car was not braking. So I passed. I couldn't brake. And then there was this bridge, just like her accident, which was not in my mind. I had to research it. I heard it when I was young, obviously. I'm about 40 years old then. But then there was a little going down a bridge, and my car went and fly because of the speed. And this comet's gonna do this. And by the way, Lady Diana died in August, 31st August 1997, almost 1998. And it passed, and I'm like, is it gonna make it? So people's gonna say that, is it gonna make it? And because of maybe the atmosphere or the altitude, whatever, it's gonna touch something. And I touched it, and then it lasts 2 3 seconds. Like obviously I will be dead. This comet goes 39. How much miles per hour? About 39,000 miles per hour, I think. And you would apologize my notes because there's so many notes and I don't have time. And it touched it after 2 3 seconds. I'm like, okay, now what? Like what's the afterlife or what it's gonna be? So I had many other dreams, and God doesn't wait 1 second for nothing in a dream or prophetic vision message to share. And then suddenly I see back, and there's a car came and twisted about 180 degrees in front of me, and water came like maybe, I don't know, like I would say about 20 feet, like 20 meters. It came high above me, like several men measure. And I woke up and there was no water. It came like from the concrete. So, maybe it's gonna eat in the concrete or anything. ALMA, that's the bridge where it was. How did I end up by ALMA? By searching Comet, that's gonna pass. Or Princess Diana, then it came ALMA. ALMA I researched. ALMA is a telescope that just saw these comets, and Comet Borisov, which I started to know. I published earlier this Comet Atlas, as I saw a year later, the devil with a green mist and lifting up people, Christians, and dying. So I didn't understand what it was. Maybe that's the war that's gonna come. Maybe that's a comet with a gas around it, which is called a coma. It's usually green. That's why we see comet green. I didn't know that until very recently, in the last week or two. I passed by several comets trying to figure out, and now today I'm telling you, this is the comet. Somebody pointed it out to me that in the calendar Egyptian, this is like the 2012, but I didn't have time to look at, like when it was saying the other one, Doomsday, the comet. Possibly I haven't searched for this. Another one, I will tell you, I was an artist since high school, and about 3 4 days ago, when I didn't want to share no more about these comets, and I said, God, just give me the winner in Soul Sports so I can make some money as I'm traveling and visiting, and to sustain myself. And because I was sad that day, and because God showed me in 5th April where are some hidden bodies, and I said I was in Montreal and there was 2 pillars and a green wall, and they wanted to give me a reward, and I said here are the bodies, and I said roughly what do you call this, the itinerary I had, and surely enough 23 April, it was a few days ago, and since then I buckled them because God showed me that they were looking above my shoulders, a man and a woman, and a man and a woman came forward and say the first population of asteroids outside our stellar system, and it was in the center, just like this theater, and I didn't find it funny, and I said I'm not sure if they were studying it before and it's just a sign for them to know, or it's really like the dream he looked, because she said those are my plans, and I had plans, and the guy came and looked over my shoulder. So I think he did look, and I said 17 degrees, 71, and 37, and there was a minus in the first two. 37, receive it later, and it's probably about where Centaur is. So after this, I boycott and came. I said I'm not gonna share no more, and then I started to eat and not feel well. So I started back sharing about 2 days, saying that the satellite of Elon Musk, they're here to spy, and it's true. And it might be the Antichrist tribulation, and that's to know. We know there's several Antichrists in spiritual well-being, and you know, Jesus is the truth. And for people who see this through science, I cannot tell you that in science you have invested time. If you haven't invested time in God and who you are, I cannot make you believe. It's like cheating. Just like you cannot show me everything, you gotta invest the time, and that's it. Have you invested the time to look for God only and forget everything, or the truth? If not, well, believe somebody maybe who did, especially the poor still believe it. So and they didn't want to do other bad stuff like the saints. Saying this, I saw my dad, which I didn't grow up, and he was putting some grilled cheese, small. This is like Comet. He put it on the left of the fridge, and on my right, I put it cheddar, and he said that one. See, I didn't even know the difference between Comet and Asteroid. So that's the one who's gonna come. And on the right, the Asteroid, 1998 cheddar. I went to welfare after high school, and there was to give cheddar in high school in US. Not in high school in US, welfare to welfare people. That's why they call it cheddar money. And he said that one. So I lost from grace. I apologize. I didn't do my job. I was an artist, and that's the one. Another one very recently. The thing that I didn't want to share after I thought I got stolen. I went to sleep and I said, God, just give me a sport thing. And since there's no sport, there's a lot of e-sport. E-sport, for people who don't know, are like betting sports, but about games they play. And there's this game that is very, very popular. It might have come, I'm not sure the year, might be 1998, might be 2002, very long time, and people still play it. I don't know, they got updates. It's called Counter-Strike. And why it's so popular is that you can play online, and it's like army, not army, but you can have guns, different arms, and you're fighting, and there's teams like this, maybe 4 against 4 in the last teams, and there's betting on this, very popular. So I didn't thought about this particularly, but because there's almost no other sport, I went down as I start prophetic sports to my best and my bad when I misinterpreted just a few months before. But God still, now that I'm seeing, oftentimes spoke there, but also about the comets. So what happened is that night, I wanted to be done with the celestial luster. I see myself hiding behind something, and you see this comet. It's the second one coming, and it might shatter and touch or just pass by, like the dream of Diana. And I heard they don't know that, like nobody saw it. And he told me, as I was hiding, I heard she is showing great patience against such. Let me get mine. I get such adverse gigantic force. So I was like hiding, and I thought, okay, God is giving me that sport is like Counter-Strike. It's like somebody coming, but I felt like I was alone, the only guy, and maybe there were more, so it was too dangerous to go, just like in the army. So the last guy staying in the team is just waiting. And I'm not making this up. After research, there is some maps or some way to play that game that it's called hide and seek. And that guy, the picture that I found, he's like in a box and hiding. And you see, I was behind that stuff, hide and seek. Now this comet, people, was first rediscovered amongst photographs published in 1986, but they did not know, just like I heard, and people now not don't know what's gonna happen. And if there's something else after, like the second moon that I saw with the cross on top, I speculate when I publish it might be this erupting from, because I thought it was behind Saturn or Jupiter. And there's a moon there called Io, and the most volcanoes among the solar system. All this is new to me every day. And I said maybe there's gonna be an eruption and some, not the moon, but some kind of something there. But saying this might be a miracle of Garen Bandal calling directly from God. People will see it. I saw it in a dream. The two moon and the cross on top. How this gonna happen? If there's no scientific way, but now there's gonna be more tribulation before that, I guess. And this game hide and seek, Counter Strike, and then that was it. That was it. And I had many other dreams, just like right now. To and there was a word leader. I said on the 30th March, and I did two versions. So I took one out today, and I was in a train. And you see, there's the train now with Kim Jong Un, and the other one I was like in the bus, and he's apparently in vegetative mode. And I will tell you something. I made that dream. I passed out in the subway. I've been outside in Toronto, and I had this dream of world leaders that were around, and I could not see it. Down on my left, it was Putin and this general, and I looked at the sky, and I saw this like comet and this dove of peace in clouds, but low, coming from the east. That might be the peace or the comet Swan that is gonna pass soon. But I see this feather, and it was beautiful. That was on my 3 o'clock, and then on my 11, I saw it's like three orbs, but now I think it's the satellites of Elon Musk. And the general close to Putin jumped and went to his ear like, "Hey, we can use this." And I knew in spirit God told me that it was for spying. So I go and I stand in front of Putin like a friend. I've warned him before many things, like when you get old, they kill you, communist, and they share what they kill you, and they share what you have between them. And he said, I might die before you have a son. And I say, well, I can have a son within 5 years. So anyway, so I go see him. Published that 6 months ago, and I go, and he had a cry in his right eyes, like something took from his right eye, was wet. So anyways, so I go next to Putin. I'm like, are you gonna do this now again for war type of things? I can't remember the words. And he's like, just complicit by saying nothing. And because of that, it's like, okay, he's gonna let it go without saying nothing, and he doesn't dare to tell me no. So I turn, I say, you're done, like very hastily, almost too much. But anyway, so I walk and to the east, and suddenly there's it's switch, and it's Muammar Gaddafi sitting in a desk, and this desk represents the judgment of God. But I didn't know, obviously. It's all after getting interpretation of the dream. So Gaddafi's there, and I'm sitting on the bottom left of his desk, meaning the south of my vision. And on my right, which means the north, just like North Korea, but I don't know, we're standing shoulder to shoulder in front of Muammar Gaddafi with his sit, but we're standing up. And there's a man like me, but I cannot see him. And I don't know if I had the thing that he was Asian, possibly, but I didn't mention, so I'm not gonna mention it more than that. And there was other people, but they were like phantoms, no threads. And this is like a comet. There's blues, ions. I didn't know that. And the other white, that's why you see it. Sometimes they photograph, they split it. Behind the tail, it's blue and white in the dust. And Gaddafi, before I know, right after I see this, he takes his gun from maybe his waist, and he shoots like the thunder god vengeance. He shoots the guy next to me. so fast that I looked down upon me and asked myself if I was shot. Next thing I see, Gaddafi's giving me the gun. He puts it on the table. And I knew I had to take the gun and shoot one guy. There was like a traitors among us. There was something. This is God's judgment. And I thought, Gaddafi trusts me because I could shoot him. And I'm like, I'm not gonna, but I was thinking, these guys to shoot first. And I'm like, I cannot shoot. So I was thinking, Gaddafi trusts me. And I said, well, maybe it's gonna test the slow bullet or everything passed so fast, but mostly I thought about these guys and I couldn't kill because I'm a repentant Christian. So the anger is gone. I put it on the desk, not gone, but I put it on the desk because of that, like a lamp. And I said before, Gaddafi, and I put it meaning you choose for me. And I also knew that I would take responsibility. Saying this, I have to tell you that if Kim Jong-un is gone and like the stars and the flag of North Korea star what I saw today, is that I wanted him to be my friend, and because I felt in life, I felt like if I had taken my spot, I could have made that peace. And I apologize, and I pray for him to see like I saw God one time, and 2 weeks before he invited Trump and he seemed to change for the best in North and South Korea. And I still know today that he did saw God. And the fact that he went with 12 people behind, just like Jesus 12, and called the Pope, but this fake Pope didn't go. Then maybe continue. Just like anybody, sometimes you don't achieve with God and you fall back in sin. You continue with this stuff. I don't know if it's God's judgment or God call him, or he pay his due because of the vegetative coma, the so-called spy that they returned to the States. And if that's the case, sometimes it's better to pay in this life than the afterlife. So I don't know if he's gonna be condemned, maybe not, God knows. But I feel sad for that. And while to go back to the dream, I guess it was one of East or Russia lied that it was gone. And I said, you're done. Like communists before, and with North Korea, Russia. And I cannot even cry. But and there was a lot of other dreams. Like if I put pause, I would retrieve others in my memory. But you see, maybe that's for you to go and look through my channel and stuff. And apologize if sometimes I've said it too much. And so get prepared, please. Thank you. God bless you. And pray for Benedict. Pray for you first. Get right to God. I invite you. I say, Jesus, please remember that they are played by the devil. Ultimately, comes that to that. And people say that if they were in hell and returned, they would do anything to not go there. And I myself excuse myself. If you can pour a spirit of certitude of faith like I've seen you to them in these last days, and especially before the impact of the comet. And in 1998 there was a movie called Deep Impact. So all the signs are there. And our sister put a dream that when this comet went, she was praying to God to not happen, and God said the judgment has come. I saw it today. And she said the other side, there was the devil laughing. So you see, the devil laughs even more if he gives you signs, like 1998 Deep Impact. and people don't even look with eyes to see, and they just go around and he's laughing because there was signs and he's laughing even more. So again, I don't know why it's gonna pass, and then almost, it's so bleak, and this comet, it says it's intersected with Earth's orbit, just like the bridge, and so I'll leave the details there, and God wants me to tell you that last year I published a dream. It was about midnight, and this was this cathedral in Vancouver where I was. And this cathedral has 3 doors, and I was on the one to the north, which hang up in North Vancouver after. But the one in the middle, there was this woman, and she tried to get in the church. She could not see me. I recognized her as a woman, a Christian that I knew in Toronto back then. She tried to get in. I see coronavirus now, the church are closed, and it was almost empty. Like, why would somebody try to go in a church in haste, like midnight? Now, the door was closed, she turned, the devil came, grabbed her. That might be the war and somebody trying to go in the church, or a comet. The devil had green mist about half a meter, I said, and I published it last year. I never understood since recently, about a month ago, about comets. But now, I think it's the 1998 for all these signs and the new dreams I had. The devil lifted her up with one hand, and God made me look in front of me for 1 second, and by the time I looked back, she passed away like this behind. And people, that's not the rapture. If you see this movie, well, if they die in God, they die innocent, like martyrs, God, Jesus said. So, but there's no rapture like before. You will see Jesus coming down. So, but there will be innocent Christian dying and eventually be safe, I guess. So, and after this, I heard don't run, but I was seeing the devil. I'm like, I don't want him to touch me, and I might be the next one. I didn't know how she died. I went out and I'm walking the street. Suddenly, I passed the corner. I'm walking downstairs, and 2 little dark figure comes, and I like this. I knew I had to follow them because I had 2 little sins, smoking a cigarette, swearing maybe, something else private. And then I was in a basement with a like a head of samurai, and the guy does this to the guys that brought me in, 2 guys, and in that room they had blades and tried to cut me, and first they started with little stuff and laughing, and then more, and I tried to go, otherwise they would have cut my left arm, and as I moved they tried more, and then finally I crossed myself, the 9 Christ, like the mark of the beast, the X, just like SpaceX, X.com, that became PayPal from Elon Musk. Anyways, his girlfriend is Vancouver, so I crossed myself, and that was it. So tribulation will come if that green mist is a comet or the war.